When you are a child under instruction, under correction, under discipline, you're still a child. I don't know if you murmur in secret, you complain in secret, but you have no right to do that when you are under tutors and governors. How many of you have been in school? When the teacher teaches you something like this, and then there was an examination, your only right is to obey and to do what the teacher is saying, because you are still under tutor and governors. Your only right is to obey. When you reach the third level of growth, and you are declared a son and daughter, you are now engaged in the Father's spiritual business. Your right is to teach, is to lead, is to guide, is to exonerate, edify others into molding them into the image of the Almighty Father through the appointed Son. That is your right. But as children under tutors and governors, your only right is to obey. You don't have the right to complain. You don't have the right to murmur. You can do that maybe in private, but that will not help you spiritually if you do that. So I am correcting this because many in the kingdom nation who have been workers who are not here anymore, I am reviewing all the things that made them backslide or made them draw back. It is correction, discipline, reproof, edification. They mistaken it because they are slaves in their minds and, servants in their minds under rulers. They resent that because of the pride of life that is left in them. They did not like that. They did not submit themselves to that. That is why they decided to draw back. And they did not finish the course. It's only the beginning of the baptism of fire. That if you have to go through that, you reach the other side of the finishing line as sons and daughters, to be able to inherit all that the Father has declared as adopted sons and daughters, and now are able to teach others what they have undergone. How can you teach humility when you yourself are not humbled? How can you teach to burn the pride of life when you yourself have not been burned by your pride of life? How can you teach others of the lusts of the flesh or of the lust of the eyes when you yourself have not undergone that? How can you teach others to overcome those things in the world when you yourself have not undergone that? And if you did not go through that, then you will suffer loss. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, 10 to 15 says, every man's work shall be revealed, so as by fire. Now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. And the fire shall declare, shall try every man's work of what sort it is. So those who drew back, they got offended because there was resentment in their hearts. They did not understand the correction and the discipline. They misunderstood it. Their reaction was wrong. Their reaction was wrong. They resented it. Do not resent it. Do not despise the correction. Do not despise, because that will give you wisdom. Because when you enter into the kingdom, you are not perfect. There is only one here that has been perfected to teach you and to be the standard and model of salvation. That is the appointed Son. So you are set up against me, against the standard that the Father has already laid down. That is the appointed Son. What did I do in my baptism of fire? I humbled myself. I did not resent it. I did not despise it. I went under it. That is why I am here today, to teach all of you. But if I remain like a servant in my mind and say, you know, nga nung gidaog-daog man ko diri. You play a victim, and then, you know, I have the right to fight against you. I have the right to also tell you. I did not do that. I went through it. I'm saying this because I will be reviewing in the Kingdom Nation right now, after this year 2020. As I told you, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. All that come here must prove themselves that they are serious, that they will finish, that they will undergo this baptism of fire. No exemption, not one is exempted. I was not even exempted to be able to do that and go into the narrow, into the makipot na pinto, and into the makitid na daan where few have made it. I want all of you to succeed. That's why the extended compassion of the Almighty Father throughout all of those years is that after baptism, those that decided to become full-time workers were accepted, which is not so. So we accepted them here, become full-time workers, and they did undergo their baptism of fire here. And the fire here is very, very intense, especially if you are with me. Very, very intense. That's why many have been burned, because they did not understand the correction, the discipline, the reproof. But if they only understood it, it will be a double blessing for them, because this is where all of this is going to happen in a way that you are really very close to the instructor, very close to the model, very close to the finished product. Sister Ingrid, Sister Ting, and those in the first batch of being workers, they did undergo very intense training, discipline. And you see them now, they are administrators and coordinators. You don't have to teach them. You don't have to correct them. I guide them, but they are through that. But in any time they go under instruction again or correction from me, they don't reset it. It only adds up to their wisdom and understanding on how to do the Father's will and apply it to others, because they also are become leaders. And no one is exempted. So if you did not pass through this course, my brothers and sisters, what is the use of you building upon the foundation? Because it will be burned. There's nothing left for that. That's why here in the kingdom, as I told you, the prime, most important thing is your salvation first. Not what you contribute for your talent, not what you contribute for your ministry, not for what you contribute to financial revolution, not what you contribute to all those revolutions. First of all, you must have to be the one who will know that you are already saved. Already saved means when you have gone through the third level of spiritual growth and you have been adopted as sons and daughters. Then the next question will be, when do I know that I am already a son or a daughter? When you don't need correction anymore, because you are the ones correcting yourself. But when you're corrected, you will appreciate it. I say, thank you. I did not know that, but thank you for telling me, advising me. That adds up to your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That is how the third level of growth people have a mental set of being leaders. That is how they react. That is how they react to instructions, to wisdom, to more of that, so that it would add up to their spiritual personality of being leaders to others, to be followed by others, and to be emulated by others. In loyalty, obedience, dedication. That is where all should be. No one is exempted. And that is where many have failed, because they did not understand discipline. They misunderstood discipline, they misunderstood correction, they misunderstood reproof. If I reprove you, and you are on the positive side of the fire, you are undergoing that, that is good for you. When you become a son and a daughter, that is the understanding that you must ask from the Father. Say, Father, thank you. Thank God for governors, tutors. Thank God for discipline, for reproof. Because that is molding you into becoming like Him. There is only one standard, my brothers and sisters. The Word of God is the standard. And the first finished product of the Word of God for this ministry is the appointed Son. I will not make a shortcut with you. I will not say, you're okay, because you've contributed much. You made many more. You already made more lumpia than others, and you have contributed to financial revolution. You're good. You're going to heaven. I will not tell you that. I will not deceive you. All of those are part of your growing up here. But if your soul is not yet on the third level of spiritual growth, you are not sure you are already a son and a daughter of the Father, because you still need correction and reproof. You're still a servant. You will not inherit anything. That's where I am trying to guide everyone.